Hi, I'm Pattu from FreeFinCal. Today, let's talk about an important question that people are now asking after this Franklin closure of the six debt funds. Why should I even need debt funds? Why can't I just use things like PPF, EPF, Sukanya scheme, FD, RD, and so on? Why should I worry and break my head over debt funds? Now, the thing is that there's risk everywhere. You can't run away from risk. Sometimes the risk is visible, sometimes the risk is invisible. Now, the point is that for a long term goal, if you use a retirement calculator or any financial planning calculator, if you use even if you use a return which is like 1%, 2% more than inflation, the investment amount would be huge. Even for that, the investment amount would be huge, which means that first of all, there's no way you can escape from equity, which means for long term goals, equity is mandatory. 50%, 60%, or 70%, something of that order is necessary for long term goals. Long term means I'm talking about 10-year plus goals, at least 10 years and more. So, first of all, that is necessary. Now, if you have equity, you have to manage that equity portfolio because the equity portfolio weightage will swing up and down. Now, if you use PPF or EPF for the equity for the fixed income component, then you cannot rebalance. First of all, if you are more than 35 years of age, your most asset allocations for most investors would be extremely heavy in fixed income. Already they have such a skewed up fixed income that they will never be able to attain that 50% equity or so in their lifetime. So already it's a gone case because of that. This video I'm trying to appeal to young earners to not get scared of debt funds or arbitrage funds or something like that because of this incident, and ignore risk management because you have that equity allocation which is necessary. So if you are going to pay fixed deposits, if you are going to go to fixed deposits and recurrent deposits, you have to pay tax every year. So that risk is there because that's going to be a continuous drain. Then the returns can go down, the rates can go down. That's called reinvestment risk. Insurance policies are extremely expensive, and if you spend most of your money for that, you will not have enough money for equity. So there's a risk there. Now, if you go to overnight funds, we just saw they're extremely they react very fast to reinvestment risk, and it's extremely conservative. Liquid funds are also subject to reinvestment risk, are also conservative, but can also react to market demand and supply in volatile times like this. We just saw it. So if you skip all other debt funds and move to gilts, long-term gilts are extremely volatile. But there is a way in which you can use that volatility in your favor. We will talk about that. So in this, there are two kinds of long-term gilts. One, actively managed long-term gilts where the fund manager plays the interest rate game, sometimes can get it wrong, or the 10-year constant maturity gilt, which is the closest we have to a bond index fund, but that will be extremely volatile. So if you just use PPF and EPF, like I said, interest rates can go down and your money is locked in, you can't rebalance freely. Why should I do all this rebalancing and all? I will just rebalance with the amount I invest. I mean, this is the problem with people, that they don't have a futuristic thinking. They always think of themselves as having low income, low net worth, low investment. Think of yourself as think of your portfolio growing, and you cannot do rebalancing with the investment amount for more than 5 6 years. If you have one bumper year with equity, that cannot be done anymore. So you have to have a futuristic view of risk management as you become richer. So I'm going to give you, so for example, I mean, you can't you can't, if you take lower risk by taking lower returns, then you have to compensate by more investment. For example, 10,000 rupees invested at 9% return for 15-16 years will give you something like 3.6 times the investment, single investment. If you want the same benefit with 7% safe returns, you have to invest 32% more. So and tax is not included. So nobody can invest 32% more. It's easy to talk. So before you take any knee-jerk reactions, we should understand the impact of using EPF or PPF where money is locked in. Of course, PPF is not fully locked in, but it's not free enough for good rebalancing every year. So I'm going to give you an example. This is the 50% equity and 50% bonds, that is long-term gilt fund portfolio. Notice 50% for the first 120 months of investing, how much it fluctuates without annual rebalancing. No PPF. If you rebalance, the asset allocation fluctuations become significantly lower because you are resetting it. Now, if I take 50% equity and 50% PPF, no gilts, and I can't rebalance, you can see that the equity allocation drifts from 50 to 40%, it goes almost to 80% and falls down suddenly. You can notice when it goes to almost 80% and falls down like that, that means you've lost money, you've lost all the gains, which you could have locked into rebalancing properly. If you had rebalanced, you would have locked in some of those gains. Now, if I add 25% gilts, 50% equity, 25% PPF, 25% long-term gilts, and rebalance the equity and the gilt part alone, only those two I keep rebalancing every year, even that will reduce the deviation in equity allocation significantly. It's only going from 60 to 60%, not 80%. So at least that much can be done. So that is the reason why you need a liquid debt investment in your portfolio, an investment that you can freely move back and forth from. Of course, you can say I will stick to only liquid funds, I will stick only to SB account. That's fine, but understand reinvestment risk, understand the implications of your decision. If you choose long-term gilts, the advantage is, just like equity gives you buying and selling opportunities from time to time, gilts also will give you buying and selling opportunities. The buying and selling opportunities of these two need not always match. Sometimes there will be a mismatch. When there is a buying opportunity for equity, there will be a selling opportunity for gilts. So you can rebalance. So not all the time, but at least sometimes. So this can be used to reduce the volatility of the portfolio. You can exploit the volatility of the long-term gilts, use it to your advantage, and reduce the portfolio risk. So don't run away from debt funds. Credit risk, yes, that's a different animal, but there's no need to run away from all debt funds and say, no, I'm going to only stick to EPF, PPF. I'm scared of all debt funds. You should know how to choose the debt funds, and you should own up to your decisions. If you know what you're doing, and if things go wrong, well, you say, look, as far as I understood, I try to invest. If it goes wrong, it goes wrong. But if you get scared and run away to the safety of fixed income like FD, RD, SB, PPF, EPF, then because you need equity, you cannot reduce the risk in that equity allocation down the line. Please think in a futuristic way. Don't always assume you will be a middle class guy. Don't always assume you will only be earning this much, you'll only be investing this much. I will be balancing with my investment amounts. Think a little bit more. Think like you are going to be a multi-lakpati first, then a multi-crorepati later. Then you will be able to have a better insight into what you should be doing to manage risk in your portfolio. Alright, so I'll catch you later. Thank you. Bye-bye.